Now check it out. This movie is called Transformers Rise of the Beast. How convenient is that? Revelation chapter 13 verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
You gotta wonder. God made us in his image. Who made him?
He said if God made us in his image, then who made him? Notice the Transformers, especially Optimus Prime, are giants. And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and the daughters were born unto them, and the sons of God, the angels, saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. And the Lord said, My spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. So the Transformers are made in the image of the giants that are mentioned in the book of Genesis. So how did the giants come into existence? The giants came into being due to the sons of God, the fallen angels, having relations with the human women. That's why Transformers 2 is called Revenge of the Fallen, because we're talking about fallen angels and their seed, the giants, and how this technology is not yours. It's the Fallens, the Nephilims, and they bestowed humanity with the wisdom to create and develop this technology. And eventually, you're going to merge with it.
You can do this. You're my brother, Noah Diaz, from Wilson Avenue, apartment 2C, Brooklyn, New York.
No names over the airwaves.
Forget that. Let them know who you are.
They're going to present this as the next step in human evolution, when in fact this is the mark of the beast. Isaiah chapter 28 verse 17 through 18. Judgment also will I lay to the line, and righteousness to the plummet. And the hail shall sweep away the refuge of lies, and the waters shall overflow the hiding place. And your covenant with death shall be disannulled, and your agreement with hell shall not stand. When the overflowing scourge shall pass through, then you shall be trodden down by it.
But he didn't just come for our planet. He wanted our greatest technology, the transwarp key. And he sent his most powerful henchman to collect it. Scourge.
As often as it comes, it will carry you away, morning after morning, by day and by night, it will sweep through. The understanding of this message will bring sheer terror. The bed is too short to stretch out on, the blanket too narrow to wrap around you. The Lord will rise up as he did at Mount Perazim. He will rouse himself as in the valley of Gibeon, to do his work, his strange work, and perform his task, his alien task.
There's a legend that precedes the dawn of our civilization. A vile god, so large and so powerful that it consumed entire planets as fuel. Few believed such a thing could be true, until the day we saw Unicron with our own eyes.
Now therefore, be ye not mockers, lest your bands be made strong. For I have heard from the Lord God of hosts a consumption, even determined upon the whole earth. This movie is about God's final judgment upon the earth. Ecclesiastes chapter 40 verse 9 and 10. Death and bloodshed, strife and the sword, calamities, famine, tribulation, and the scourge. These things are created for the wicked, and for their sakes came the flood. Scourge is actually a character in the movie Transformers Rise of the Beast, sent by the vile god Unicron. And now we read in the Bible that God sends tribulation, famine, and the scourge to deal with the wicked. It also says, and for their sakes came the flood. Because we're talking about God judging the earth, just like the days of Noah. That's why the main character's name is Noah Diaz.
Can I help you?
Yes. Hey, I'm here for an interview with the head of security, Mr. Bishop. I'm Noah Diaz.
The surname Diaz comes from the Latin dies, which means days. So we're talking about the days of Noah. What were they doing in those days? But in the latter days of Methuselah, the son of men turned from the Lord. They corrupted the earth, they robbed and plundered each other, and they rebelled against God, and they transgressed, and they corrupted their ways, and would not hearken to the voice of Methuselah, but rebelled against him. And the wife of Lamech conceived and bare him a son at that time, at the revolution of the year. And Methuselah called his name Noah, saying the earth was in his days at rest and free from corruption. And Lamech his father called his name Menahem, saying, this one shall comfort us in our works and miserable toil in the earth, which God has cursed. And the child grew up and was weaned, and he went in the ways of his father Methuselah, perfect and upright with God. And all the sons of men departed from the ways of the Lord in those days, as they were multiplied upon the face of the earth with sons and daughters. And they taught one another their evil practices, and they continued sinning against the Lord. And every man made on himself a god, and they robbed and plundered every man his neighbor, as well as his relative, and they corrupted the earth, and the earth was filled with violence. And their judges and their rulers went to the daughters of men, and took their wives by force from their husbands according to their choice. And the sons of men in those days took from the cattle of the earth, the beasts of the field, and the fowls of the air, and taught the mixture of animals of one species with the other, in order therewith to provoke the Lord. And God saw the whole earth, and it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted its ways upon earth, all men and all animals.
What are you?
I'm a fawn. Half man, half goat.
Oh, so you mean...
Yeah, that's Kura goat. These are my folks.
Oh.
And this is what led God to flood the earth. Man had lost their humanity, and the animals could no longer be regarded as true animals. God's creation was completely corrupt, so God had to destroy it. And now it's round 2. They want to transform the human race through genetic modification.
Droid.
Droid DNA augmentation initiated. Neural speeds increasing to 4G LTE. Brain upgrading to a quad-core processor. Predictive intelligence with Google Now complete.
Introducing Droid DNA by HTC. It's not an upgrade to your phone, it's an upgrade to yourself.
Right in front of your face. It's not an upgrade to your phone, it's an upgrade to yourself. Because you're going to merge with this technology, and they're going to alter your DNA to do it. And guess what they're going to call this? Evolution. Page 77. Darwin's origin is riddled with supposition after supposition. It is void of data, charts, graphs, tables, and references to research that has been done. It basically reads as a work clouded with ambiguity and imprecision. The same problem exists today, and those who are committed to evolution are blind to the fact that their proposal has no substance. It continues to be beset with difficulties. How can you test a hypothesis without seeing the process of evolution actually occur? Can you see the invisible amoeba become visible, or can you see how a monkey becomes a man? Hensel said that it is hopeless. For Huxley, evolution was science. The claim that evolution was a scientific idea was a way for Darwin and Huxley to give the new theory much needed credibility and greater acceptance. In fact, science and evolution are distinct. Unlike true science, the claims of Darwinian evolution cannot be tested or replicated. That is because origin events happen just once and are therefore outside the purview of scientific experiments.
I'm here to tell my people it's time to stop believing bullshit just because a motherfucker tell you bullshit with a straight look on their face.
When Darwin stepped off the Beagle in October 1836, he was obsessed with explaining how living systems could gradually change over time. His assumption that they do runs contrary to the biblical idea of a fixed kind established in Genesis 1. The idea of continuity within each kind is explicit in Genesis chapter 1 verse 12, which states, "And the earth brought forth grass, the herb that yields seed according to its kind, and the tree that yields fruit, whose seed is in itself according to its kind." The kind here is dictated from the seed, which is controlled by DNA.
You too old to be believing in evolution with your stupid motherfucking ass.
I know what evolution can do. I understand its power to persuade minds eager for an alternative to God. Darwin's theory is an idea that wicked men have used as a rationale for mass murder. It is also an instrument of spiritual death for millions more who embrace its lies. That is why we, as Christians, must do everything we can to refute evolution and to bring the world back to the Creator. The economist Albert E.F. Scheffler was, after Canary, the most influential writer to apply Darwin to ethics in the 1870s. He held that morality is not God-given, but the outcome of the evolutionary process.
The fact that you possess a sense of morality, and we do not, gives us an evolutionary advantage.
She said the fact that you possess a sense of morality, and we do not, gives us an evolutionary advantage. Pay attention to the fact that this Superman film is titled Man of Steel instead of Superman, because their intention is to transform you into a man of steel, or something as resilient as steel. And in doing so, you'll sacrifice your morality and ultimately your sense of humanity.
The fact that you possess a sense of morality, and we do not, gives us an evolutionary advantage.
Max Nordau, whose 1883 book, The Conventional Lives of Our Civilization, sold more than 50,000 copies by 1903, also believed that moral principles were the product not of transcendent revelation, but of natural selection. Alright, so this film is called In Time, and the storyline revolves around a world where time has become the new currency, and people are genetically modified to stop aging at 25. But after that, they have one additional year to live unless they can acquire more time, more money essentially. And as a result, the wealthy can live forever, while the rest of the population faces challenges to try and improve their socio-economic status. The issue is that the table is tilted and the game is rigged, because the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, largely because of the inequitable actions of the rich.
Some think what we have is unfair. The time difference between zones.
I've heard that.
But isn't this just the next logical step in our evolution? And hasn't evolution always been unfair? It's always been survival of the fittest. This is merely Darwinian capitalism. Natural selection.
Absolutely. The strong survive.
The struggle for existence, he wrote, is the force that shapes in its widest sense all of human history. And if evolution, an ongoing process, shapes morality, then morality itself must be subject to change. Standards for right and wrong, he wrote, are not absolute, but variable, and are subject to the laws of evolution in society, and therefore in a constant state of flux.
For a few to be immortal, many must die.
What the hell's that supposed to mean?
You really don't know, do you? Everyone can't live forever. Where would we put them? Why do you think there are time zones? Why do you think taxes and prices go up the same day in the ghetto? The cost of living keeps rising to make sure people keep dying. How else could there be men with 1,000,000 years while most live day to day?
This is the essence and the ultimate aim of evolution, is to abandon traditional morals in humanity. Thus, it is not difficult to see in retrospect how Darwinian evolution has been traded in for bait-and-switch epigenetics that covers for military-industrial intelligence experiments by blaming climate change, an industry-polluted environment, and general human 1.0 frailty, autoimmune symptoms, cancer increase, miscarriages, autism, etc. Environment is now yoked to synthetic biology's objective to alter human genetics by 2030. Exploitation of the environment to undermine the immune system and human culture is of course never mentioned.
Our new EV rental fleet is the absolute GOAT.
Nice. Speaking of goats, is that Tom Brady?
Yeah. He comes in to recharge, get software updates. You know.
Same time next week?
You got it.
Cool. Let's go.
Let's go.
Right in front of your face, they called Tom Brady the GOAT because they're talking about the Baphomet, which is not man, nor woman, nor animal, but it's a mixture. It's a beast. And that's what Tom Brady is representing, the beast, the merge between man and machine.
This is what happened when you're attacked, isn't it?
Skynet didn't attack me, Kyle. It changed me. See, I'm not machine. Not man. I'm more.
He said, I'm not machine and I'm not man. I'm more. John Connor is a transhuman. Now, if you've seen any of the other Terminator movies, you know that it was prophecy for John Connor to destroy the machines, to destroy Skynet. Now he's joined them, making him anti-Connor, making him an anti-Christ. Because John Connor in the movies is representing Jesus Christ. That's why their initials are the same, JC.
Anyway, that's the kind of man your son was. Is. Will be Jesus. Will be Jesus. Will be Jesus.
They're straight up telling you that he is Jesus. But in this particular movie, he's the Antichrist.
No, it's okay. He's with me. What are you doing?
John!
Pops!
John! Come on, breathe.
Why did you do that?
That hurt.
I bet you didn't catch it. I bet you didn't catch the scriptural significance of this scene. But once I show it to you, it's going to be undeniable that we're talking about the beast in Bible prophecy.
No, it's okay. He's with me. What are you doing?
John!
Alright, now peep game. Arnold Schwarzenegger is holding a stuffed animal, a bear. So what's a synonym for the word animal? A beast. So this beast took a head wound, as if it was wounded unto death. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power, and his seat, and great authority. And I saw one of his heads, as if it was wounded to death. And his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. So the beast has everything to do with advanced technology, man merging with machine. Now look at John Connor's face. You can see that he has battle scars. He has marks on his face. This is representing the mark of the beast. So let's go to the Strong Concordance G5480 and see what the word mark means in its original language. So according to the Strong Concordance definition, the word mark is hadragma in the Greek, and it means a scratch, an etching, a stamp, a badge of servitude. And now if you look, he actually has a scratch on his face. This is the mark of the beast, the hadragma. They even put the same type of scratch on Kovu in the movie Lion King 2.
You!
So Zira is a lion, an animal, and a synonym for the word animal is a beast. So this beast put this mark, this hadragma, on the face of Kovu, therefore symbolizing the mark of the beast.
I first got woke when I seen Terminator, And I realized it wasn't just a movie, it was prophecy,